finally fall season where I am, which means the temperature is going down and the number of layers I wear is going up. So I did this week's meal prep keeping that in mind. There's a little more soup, a little more vitamin C than usual, but I'm still sticking to my calorie deficit and keeping it high protein. And it's also a long weekend in Canada for Truth and Reconciliation Day. That's why the orange t-shirts. So I went a little more elaborate with my recipes than usual. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let's get started. For dinner, I went with something hearty and satisfying: keema rice stuffed bell peppers along with roasted cauliflower soup. First, for the base of keema, I finely chopped half an onion along with green chilies and 1-inch root of ginger in a food processor. Then in an instant pot, I sauteed cumin and coriander seeds and added the onion mix along with pureed tomatoes. I keep tomatoes pureed in my freezer since I use them so often. Once onion and tomatoes roasted, I added a teaspoon of tomato paste. Then I spiced it up with a pinch of turmeric, some red chili powder, and most importantly, keema spice mix. Then I added ground chicken and about half a cup of frozen peas and gave everything a quick stir. Usually keema pulao is made by adding rice directly over keema, but I make it in a separate bowl for a better texture. I added 1 cup of washed rice along with 1 cup of chicken broth in a separate heat-proof container and kept it inside the Instant Pot on a stand. Then I set the Instant Pot to pressure cook for 5 minutes. While the chicken and rice were cooking, I started the prep for cauliflower soup. I tossed a bag of chopped cauliflower onto a baking tray and added 2 cloves of garlic. Then I sprayed some oil and seasoned with red chili powder and cumin powder. I mixed them up, roasted them in the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes until they were golden and tender. By this time, the Instant Pot was ready to be opened. I fluffed out the rice and mixed it with keema and let it saute for a couple of minutes so that the rice soaks in all the amazing flavor from keema. And you end up with delicious keema pulao. It tastes good as is, but I wanted to take it to a next level and make stuffed bell peppers with them. For the bell peppers, the classic way is to cut off the top and put the stuffing in from top, but I like to cut them into half lengthwise when I meal prep them because this way it's faster to reheat them from inside. I cut the bell peppers and laid them on a baking sheet, sprayed some oil and put about 3/4 of keema pulao stuffing into each bell pepper. Then I baked them at 350 Fahrenheit for about 20 minutes until the peppers softened. By this time, the cauliflower were roasted. I added them to a big pot along with 2 cups of chicken broth. If you want to keep it vegetarian, you can add veggie broth instead, or even just water is fine. Then I let everything simmer for about 10 minutes. After that, I used an immersion blender to blend the soup until it was smooth and creamy. You can adjust the consistency based on your preference. You can add more liquid if you want it to be watery or less liquid if you want it to be creamy like this. It's such a cozy dish, perfect for dinner after a long day. Once I was done with the soup, the bell peppers were ready. I boxed them up and also added the soups into mason jars and my dinner was ready. For breakfast, I made cheesy egg bake with spinach and sun-dried tomatoes. I started by blending together 500 grams of liquid egg whites with 1/3 cup of cottage cheese and 1/3 cup of shredded Tex-Mex. You can be more generous with the cheese if you want. I just seasoned them with salt and pepper. I also wanted to add 4 whole eggs but ran out of space in my tiny little blender, so I blended them separately. I directly baked the eggs in my heat-proof containers to avoid a mess. I sprayed them with oil and added equal amounts of egg mix into each. Then I chopped a bunch of spinach and sun-dried tomatoes and added them into each box. You can be more creative with any veggies here like onions, bell peppers, broccoli, mushroom, tomatoes and anything along those lines. Then I whisked everything and popped them into the oven at 350 Fahrenheit for about 25 minutes. You can check by inserting a knife if the eggs are fully cooked. It's such a simple recipe packed with flavor and protein to start the day strong. For lunch, I prepped an orange and beetroot salad. It's such a refreshing salad, perfect for fall season. I started by boiling a cup of quinoa along with 2 cups of water. While it was cooking, I started prepping the veggies for the salad. I recently found out that you don't have to boil beetroot. It can be eaten raw as long as it is shred thinly, so it's not a hard bite. I peeled one big beetroot and shredded finely. It was my first time using this shredder along with the finger guard, so it took me a minute to grasp it, but once I got into a rhythm, I was able to shred the entire beetroot quickly in a few minutes. By this time, quinoa was cooked. I left it in fridge to quickly cool it down. Then to layer the salads, I started with chopped spinach. I kept a piece of paper napkin into each box to keep the salad from getting soggy. It's a new trick I experimented with this week and it worked. Then added about half cup quinoa into each box. Then the shredded beetroot, leaving a little bit beetroot aside. Then I added some feta cheese and finally the orange slices. For the protein, I'm planning to use these pre-cooked chicken bites from Costco. I made an orange ginger dressing the following day on my lunch break, so I couldn't record it, but I will add the written recipe in the description below. With that, my lunch was ready as well, but we are not done yet. I got a bit influenced by TikTok this week and decided to start making snack boxes as well. These are perfect for when I need a quick bite in between meals or when I'm on the go. I saved some shredded beetroot from lunch and added a cup of Greek yogurt in it, along with red chili powder, chaat masala, and salt to make a beetroot yogurt dip. It's vibrant, tangy, and packed with nutrients. In each snack box, I added a little portion of the beetroot yogurt dip, some pita chips for dipping, a few oranges because there is no such thing as too much vitamin C in flu season. Then I also added these date cookies I got from a local Middle Eastern store and a couple of dried figs for some extra fiber. And finally, with that, all my meal prep was done. And that's it for this week. I hope you liked the video, and if you did, please like and subscribe to my channel.